Welcome to another episode of Steemy. Today we are looking at Utopian.io. Utopian.io is a website that is built on the Steem blockchain, and it is particularly interesting for developers creating open source programs and share it with the community. Let's have a look at the website and see what it's all about. So here on the left, we see a feature of all the posts that have been done on Utopian.io. And basically what you can understand about this is that it's a little bit like Steem it. So instead of, well, just posting stuff, anything, you are posting now particularly your contribution to open source projects that, for example, can improve Steemit or other Steam-based website, but also other projects. And we will have a closer look exactly what these projects are. So here we see the overview of all the different categories, and you can switch between the categories by clicking on these menu arrows. And then you can click, for example, on all the translation projects. Here there's a Romanian translation of DTube interface. So this is really cool. And now people can upvote specifically these contributions. So as you can see here, if you scroll down a little bit, you see that everyone has gotten some really nice upvotes here. And this is perfect. This is ideal, don't you think? Because now people are really wanting to do something for the community, for all these different projects and websites, and try to make them better, because now they're getting paid for that, and that is fantastic. That is a really good use for the Steem blockchain, don't you think? All right, let's continue looking at what we have here at Utopian.io. So on the top you also have a little menu for the different categories, similar to that side-scrolling menu here. There is a search bar, and when you type in something and you press enter, then that will immediately load all the results for that down here in the stream. Then you can create your own contributions by clicking on that button here, and now you can select one of these 8 categories that we saw earlier, and that is really interesting what they're doing here. So let's have a closer look at that, shall we? So the first category that we have is idea and feature, where you can bring in some project ideas where you think you can improve something that has already been programmed, but you think these particular things could make it better, and then you can post it in that category. Then you have development results, where you provide links. Actually, that's not really explaining very well. Well, if you have developed or contributed to the development, and then you pick one of these topics that Utopian.io is featuring: bug hunting, translation for different projects. You can also bring in graphics, and I find that really interesting. Because, I mean, I'm creating graphics myself. I mean, they don't really look for photos or something like that. They really look for, I assume, design, interface, graphics, something like that, icons, and so on. But it is something that someone can do who is not a developer, and that is quite interesting. So let's continue here. We have documentation rules. Documentation, these are the rules below, where you can provide a documentation to an open source project. Analysis. Let's see, this category is meant only for providing analysis you have generated for an open source project. So I'm not 100% sure what is meant by that. And then we have visibility, where also everyone can basically post here and help to promote the Utopian.io platform. And that is really interesting, because a video like mine, like this video here right now, is technically maybe can apply for this category. So I will not do it for this video because I'm not quite sure how the rules exactly work. I think you have to deliver something like a proof that you shared it on Facebook and how many people saw it or something like that. And since I haven't done that, I will do it later after the video. I will not take advantage of this here for now, but I think it's a really cool feature for a lot of people who think that Utopian.io is a great idea and then just create, I don't know, graphical ads, video ads, maybe even live streams or something like that. So yeah, it's awesome. Cool. So if you understand that, then it opens up a classic editor. Actually, I think it even looks a little bit more stylish than the editor that we have on Steem. It's very simple. You can bring in your images here. It shares YouTube videos. You have your tags and then you post it there. You also have drafts, similar like what we know from busy.org, the alternative website to Steemit. And here we see I already created this draft here, and when I load it, understand it again here, then you see a little preview, you see the video preview, you see the image preview here of Steemit, and so on. Yeah. All right. These are the posts. Let's go back to the main page, and then we see there are reviews, where I think this is a category where people can review the contributions and then say whether they're good or not. That's probably a moderator section here. Then you have a wallet. It sends you actually to the Steemit website. Sponsors. Let's see what this is all about. All right, so you can delegate actually Steem power to the website so that the bot, they have their Utopian bot, and that is also really cool what they did here. By the way, the user is called Elia. Here, this guy who created Utopian.io. And what he did here is he invited a lot of people to, well, delegate their Steem power to the Utopian.io Steemit account, and now they have all this power in order to upvote posts and make sure that there really is a support for the community who's posting on Utopian.io. So this is fantastic. You get upvotes from the community, but you're also getting an upvote from the Utopian.io bot. You have to read up on how that exactly works. Here there's a post on Utopian.io where you can read up on how the bot exactly works. It has some rules that make sure that you cannot abuse that bot so easily, and only people who really deserve it get their upvotes. And it's quite nice because it has a $30 upvote, I think, the Utopian bot, and that's fantastic. And you get a little bit of contribution for your work. All right, so that's that. Let's go back. Then you see here an overview of statistics, heroes who contribute a lot, different users who support the platform quite a bit. We see a lot of familiar names here. And yeah, that's basically Utopian.io. When we well, there's also a list of moderators here, so you can check up on that and get in contact with them if you want so. And let's have a final look here on the Utopian.io user account on Steemit, and we see there's currently a mega contest where you are invited to make contributions for the WordPress platform. This is what I was mentioning earlier. It's not just about Steem and Steemit, but also other open source projects. So you have WordPress, same thing, same categories here, but specifically for WordPress. And when you do that, then there will be very good upvotes from the bot and so on. And then there are other open source projects that are supported, like busy.org, the Steemit front end, the Drupal, Google Chrome, and it says many others. I'm not quite sure what exactly that means. If you have another open source project that is completely out of that list, it probably doesn't make much of a difference, but you should, if you don't know exactly and you want to develop something that you haven't developed yet, you better get in contact with the user Elia who is running Utopian.io or any of these mods on the official website. I think it looks very cool what they did here so far. It's really, really amazing. Well, let me think. I must say, this might be the best third-party application for Steem that I have seen so far. It's just completely amazing. Why is that? Well, I think we need these developments. We need all these tools and apps and websites and plugins for WordPress and so on to make Steem a really usable, user-friendly, widely applicable blockchain that becomes more and more interesting than any other cryptocurrency. Because I mean, if you think about it, Bitcoin is not really something that you want to use on a daily basis. You use it to store your value and hope that the value will increase. Steem is more like a day-to-day thing, which you just use to make transactions, to pay people, to probably use it in a store. I would probably use Steem regularly in a store if I would have the chance to directly use it on a credit card, on a prepaid card. Currently, I think all the cards available are still exchanging Steem first into Bitcoin, and I think that is not really good because it costs a lot of transaction fees, it's slow and everything. But these kinds of developments here with Utopian.io, I think, are just really pushing developments on all ends. And that is exactly what we need. And that is fantastic. That will drive the value of Steemit. It will make it more valuable, more interesting, and more mass media friendly. Not mass media, I'm sorry, I mean mass market friendly. Right. Okay, let me know in the comments what you think about Utopian.io. If you want to contribute to that project, I think it's a really good thing. If you don't know exactly what to do with your Steem power, give a little bit to Utopian.io and support their project, because this is really what will come back to you in forms of tons of cool features and so on. Alright, that's it for today. I talk to you very soon.